Welcome to How to Feed Hummingbirds in Your Hand. This is a presentation of Studio in the Wild, and I'm Ray Mears. This is my hummingbird garden that I have behind my home here in North Louisiana. I have 2 feeders, though we only have 1 bird active, and actually this year we only had 3 or 4 birds that came into the area. So I'm going to make the attempt to photograph a hummingbird feeding in my hand with only 1 bird to work with. It's a little more time consuming that way. But I begin by removing the hummingbird feeders from their stand and place them nearby in the location where I'm going to sit and make this attempt. I insert my little handheld feeder into the mix and wait for the bird to become actively feeding in my area. Well, I remove one of the hummingbird feeders, and I only have 1, and I present my little handheld feeder to him, and he comes in and he begins actively feeding there next to my hand. Well, he didn't feed in my handheld feeder, so I moved it down a little closer on the same level as the larger feeder, and eventually he's going to come and he's going to feed there in my hand. Now, patience is very, very important right here, because this didn't happen in the time frame of this video. So he feeds in my hand, but I notice he does not land. If you'll notice, I have no way for the bird to land. I have no perch, so I decided to put me a little black rubber gasket and glue it to the outside edge of my handheld feeder, and the next time I present it, it's going to have a little perch on it. So I move my hand up to a more comfortable position. The bird is familiar with the handheld feeder, and so eventually he's going to come up and feed from my hand. Now, if you'll notice, he does not land. And so the second time that he comes, however, watch what he does. He comes and he puts his little feet down on the perch, but he still hovers. He does not land. Now, the third time he comes, however, he's going to feel very comfortable, and there he's going to sit down and he's going to feed out of my hand. Now, I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish, and that was to feed a hummingbird in my hand. I tried something different. I said, well, I want to observe the bird a little closer than, say, around my waist area. So I mounted the little feeder on a piece of PVC that I painted green to perhaps help the situation. And the bird came and began to feed, and I said, well, I want to see how close I can bring this bird to my face before he becomes a little concerned and flies off. So I continue to move the bird on my feeder a little closer to my face, and he looks up at me and I'm looking at him, and I eventually get to within somewhere around 6 or 7 inches from the feeder and the bird before he gets tired of looking at that face and takes off. The next thing I said, well, let's try something else. So I took the little handheld feeder and I put some Velcro on the bottom of it and on the top of my cap, and lo and behold, the bird would come and feed right there. And almost any place I'd put that little feeder, he's going to go, uh-oh. You'll notice, now you have to be careful. It is dangerous. He's going to make a little dropping here and there. That's part of it. That was exciting, wasn't it? That was unusual. That's an experience I've never had before until I started to see if I could just get the bird into my hand. And out of it came a little handheld feeder. Well, I hope you enjoyed the adventure with Studio in the Wild, and just one more unique time in this world that God made, and one more unique time with one of His unique creatures. I hope you enjoyed feeding with the hand and feeding with on the hat. God bless you. Have a good day.